Welcome to the Castile element of the Europa Universalis 4 No DLC series. If you're following the series, you'll be aware that up until now I've been playing as the Ottomans, and we reached a point after 6 parts where I felt it was now time to move on to Castile. And for any of you who are not familiar with what I am doing in this series, I'm exploring EU4 from the perspective of a new player who wants to learn the game but doesn't want to go out and get all the DLC. And so far it's gone very well. I've really enjoyed playing the game, and I would certainly recommend this approach for anyone who's not too sure about Europa Universalis 4 and maybe can't decide whether they like it or not. I think getting in, especially if you can get the game cheap on the Steam sale or something like that, getting in, playing with no DLC, I think it's a good way to get an intro to the game, and it is a good playing experience. Although I will say one caveat, and I'll just put this in as a warning. If you start watching lots of videos with experienced players playing with all the DLCs, what you will start to notice is the shortcomings of the game when it comes to various diplomatic options and management options, and that can start to detract a little bit from the overall gameplay. But don't let that bias you against the game as it is, because I mean, if you really start to like the game, then what you could do is start to go out and buy some of the key DLCs. I mean, you don't have to buy them all. There's plenty of videos out in YouTube with people recommending which ones to buy, and maybe once this series over, that's another direction we're going to go, is maybe build up the DLC. Anyway, time to move on. I don't want this introduction to be too long, and the next stage of this Let's Play is going to be Castile. Now, Castile is one of the what was called the 3 starter kingdoms, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Castile is one of the most popular kingdoms played in the game, both by new players and existing players. And the reason for that is there's so many different ways it can be played. But we're going to be playing from a perspective of a new player, so there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be failures, because the one element I do want to explore in this section of the Let's Play, and that is the colonial game. And I'm going to put my hand up straight away now and say that I know nothing about the colonial game. Well, I know the basics. Now, we're going to be playing as Castile, and I'm going to do a proper intro to here. So Castile starts off as a kingdom. We're a technology group Western, we're a Catholic country. Now, one of the downsides of playing Castile is that the faction leader is not particularly very good, and his heir's even worse, Enrique de Trastamara, and you can see he's probably one of the worst potential leaders in the game. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. I think the general consensus is that you try and get him killed. We start with a 3-3-3 technology, because, well, these guys are not particularly good. And we'll just have a quick look at the Spanish ideas. We've got the Reconquista, we get plus 5% for discipline, which we've got the Spanish Inquisition, we get plus 2% missionary strength. We've got the Intercontera, which gives us plus 1 colonists. That is the element that I'm going to be really interested in this game. We've got devout Catholics, yearly papal influence plus 2, treasure fleet, we get provincial trade power plus 10, global tariffs plus 15, got the Spanish Armada, national sailors modified plus 10%, heavy ship combat ability plus 10%. That could give us a bit of a run for the money if we run up against the English. Siglo del Oro, yearly prestige plus 1. So these are a pretty good list of ideas. We start with 22 provinces, we got a development of 243 and fort level 5. So this is the total level of all forts in Castile. The higher the fort level, the harder the country is to invade. Okay, and we start with a truce with Granada. Granada's down here, and Castile is a pretty good faction to start as a new player. I think that's about it. I don't want to drag this out anymore. So what I'm going to do is just click play, and we're just going to jump straight into the game. And of course, we're going to play normal mode, because you can, when you're recording, you can always guarantee something's going to go wrong. And I will now see you on the campaign map. Here we are on the campaign map. As you can see, we've got the overview of the Kingdom of Castile, and of course we've got the start date of 1444. I'm not going to go through this. I'll just flip through quickly for any of you who want to see the details. It says Catholic faith gives the following modifiers: tolerance of the true faith +1, tolerance of the heretics -1. Catholic countries can interact with the papacy by using their papal influence. They accrue over time. Influence can either be used to become the papal controller. Got no idea what the benefits of doing that is, or they can get favours from the papacy. The government type is monarchy, and environment. Yeah, well, I'm just going to click out of there. Now you can see that Castile starts as the dominant kingdom in Iberia at this time period. To the south we've got Granada, which is the last Islamic conclave actually in the Iberian Peninsula, and that will be a very early target. To the east we've got Aragon, which may seem to be relatively weak, but what you need to remember is that Aragon controls these islands out here, and they also have a personal relationship with Naples, so they're a force to be reckoned with, and they will be someone we will have to deal with over time. But there's two ways that you can create Spain, which will be an objective in this playthrough. That you can do it militarily, but there's also an event called the Iberian Wedding. I'm not too sure what the conditions are, but that can trigger, which then unifies Castile and Aragon into what we could call a medieval superpower, I suppose is the best way to describe it. Now to the west you've got Portugal. Now if you're familiar with the modern map of Iberia, you'll see that this border is very much the same as it was today as it was in this portrayal, and the reason for that is that this border is one of the oldest international borders in the world. Castile and Portugal have a very strong relationship which goes back right to the early medieval period, and for anyone who's a new player it pays to respect this campaign. There are various strategies which people can employ, because one thing about Castile, you can play it anyway. I mean, that applies to any kingdom you play in Europa Universalis for. You can play them any way you want, and we would be following what you probably call the normal thread to the game. And I think that's enough of introduction. Let's get up here and see what the bad news is. We're just going to click on rivals, and we're rivaled against England, Burgundy and Aragon, and we have a truce with Granada. That's not bad, because up here to the northeast we've got the Great Blue Blob, which is France, and we'll be certainly trying to look to get an alliance with France, because if we get an alliance with France that will protect us against Aragon. Let's see if we can do that straight away. And of course we're going to have to open up these. It may they don't like us just at the moment, so we're going to have to. We can improve relations with France, so we're certainly going to do that. Now, good chance that will be, and we may have to start the game to let the game roll over. We will certainly be offering an alliance with Portugal, and of course. One thing I haven't done, I've forgotten completely about it. We're certainly going to rival England. They don't like us that much. And we're certainly going to rival Burgundy. I mean, this is very much a new player strategy, is that whenever you start a new playthrough, always rival who rivaled you, and we're certainly going to rival Aragon. That's the other thing I want to do is, if I can correctly, yep, we've got no claims on anyone around us, and I want to be able to get in and take Granada as soon as the truce expires. So we're going to come in here and covert actions, get into a spy network there. That's all we can do diplomatically, and the strategy is going to be very much about consolidating what we got here. Got some councillors. I mean, I don't know what economy is like. I know the economy just tends to be pretty good. Yeah, we start with 5.85, and we're going to be at peace for a little while, so I think we can. I think, is that the only castle we got? Fort we've got, and we've got a navy up here. A little bit in the wrong place, so we're going to get get the navy. I think we'll get, what have we got here? 10 transports, 3 heavies, 5 light ships. I think get the navy down to here. We've got an army up here. It's probably in the wrong place. Here. Bring this army down and let's have a look at the councillors. Reinforcement, speed, discipline. Quite like the discipline actually. But he's younger, so we're gonna go with that. And yeah, I've got 2 discipline. Yearly prestige, missionary strength. Well, not converting anything, so we'll go with a touch of that. And we've only got 1 level 1 here, so improved relations, that'd be quite useful. We're just gonna pop that. Here, disputed succession, truce will expire, so we've done that. The other thing I want to do virtually straight away, it's not that one, is we come here and what we're going to do is make a general out of your heir. We're going to make Enrique here, who's probably one of the worst heirs in the game, just to show you up here. It is 000, so I'm going to make him general of this army. If you put one of your faction leader or heir into an army, that makes him more prone to dying, and in the case of poor old Enrique, exactly what we want to do. I think we've got everything set up, ready to go. I think we can unpause the game. Let's get a bit of speed for this initial phase. Yeah, I think I'm going to play at level 2. So Portugal's accepted our alliance. One else around. In fact, what we could probably do is here, Castile humiliate against. Yeah. The other thing we can also do, dynastic arrangements. Get a royal. No, we can't do it. Oh, we can now. I'm certainly going to get a royal marriage. Portugal. Really bind them in tight. I think actually just have a quick got here. The France tells us about events of the surrender of Maine. Oh, got that triggered quite early. I'm just going to pause because what I want to do is have a look at missions. Missions we got here. I have played Castile for about an hour before this, but I haven't played it that much, so I haven't really looked into great depth. Build a force limit. Total army size 100%. That could be useful. Cannot complete this mission. To do that. Alliance. So we need 2 countries in the alliance. Income. Total army size at least 100%. Total navy size. Number of generals at least 1. Manpower level at least 60%. That's what we got here. Yeah, so we're not at 60%. So these are 2 quite early missions. Expand Castile. So that would be, I think that will be the path that will, there it says expand, completely mission, build up force limit, total development, and then the new states, discover the Caribbean. Well, that's something we will definitely want to do. We're going to have 5 churches, 5 workshops. So it's saying that we need to build up our force limit. So we only need another 7 units. So let's just talk. What have we got here? We've got 8 infantry, 2 cav army, and we've got 8 infantry, 3 cav in that army. So I think what we'll do is put some knights, go with this army, and I think we'll create an extra knight for that army, and get more troops there, and then I think we will pad out. We're just going to need to get these guys up to, whoops, no. Take these guys down. I've gone too far. That's it. So let's take that down, and that will bring these forces up to maximum power. Just going to play that. How are we doing here? We got this guy free, and you're building up a spy network. I'd like to build up a claim down here as well. Actually, I suppose we could build a claim in there. In fact, I think there's something I need to do. I think if we come in here, economic actions. Yeah, we can issue an embargo against Aragon, and I think we can issue an embargo against England. That should improve our, I can't remember what it is now. I think it is our power projection. Yep. That comes there. Actually, I haven't done the economy. So many things to do. And this is one thing when you're a new player. This is something you need to bear in mind when you first start out with a campaign. The initial period, there's so many different things you do. And what you do does depend on how your campaign actually goes. We'll select these. I think we're going to get you protecting trade in Seville. Seville's by far the richest hub. I think only Genoa's richer. Seville is very wealthy. This is another reason why we really want to get control of this area here. In fact, I think let's just have a look at the trade situation. So here we are. We are on the trade map. Wow, we dominate 78%. So at the moment, you've got 78% of trade being retained and 22% being pushed up here to Genoa. We've got 42% of the income from here. So at the moment there's an income of 6.32 coming in, and we're going to get 3.82 of that, and that will probably improve once my ships are out. Our major competitor is Portugal. Got 29%. Sure. Yeah, so kind of 54%, but we can't do privateers because we were playing with no mods. Arda has 4%, Aragon has 5%. So trade is looking pretty good. Got a merchant down here who's pushing trade up this way. Now we've also owned this area here, the Canaries, so we've got a little bit of power in here due to owning the Canaries. Here again, 70% and 30% is being pushed towards Seville, and down here Morocco's a dominant force. Portugal's got a little bit. We've got 17%. So I mean, we're getting well, we got no income, but we're helping the transfer of goods to there. And the other merchant is over here in Tunis, and you can see there's definitely a lot more trade being pushed on to Genoa and Seville. We're helping that process here, so I think that's okay. Yep, I think that will work. And I think what we're going to need to do is just keep working on our improving relations. Don't really want this building a spy network there. Inclined to build a spy network here, but is it going to be worth building it there? I mean, would like we build a spy network here. Yeah. Lemkin. Now, one of the problems you've got is that because of a modifier, coring down here is more expensive than with the what you'd be if you're at war up in Europe. So I'd like to take this area here, but we could get a core on Morocco. I think we're going to start with Morocco. Build a spy network here for the moment. Yeah, fulfilled. Okay, just built up to our force limit. And we're going to get plus 5% morale and minus 5% land maintenance. You're going to take that. And it says here, oh, so we haven't built our navy up. That's going to be over. What is our? How far are we away with the navy? Oh, we only need one ship. Okay. Just build a light ship there. Yeah, a bit of a fail there. France get into. Got no. I think we're just going to leave that at the moment. See if we can get in there. Of course, we've got Navarra here. I mean, they're actually allies with Aragon. They like us, but we could be cheeky. But we need to pull back a diplomat. I mean, this guy's only just started, so we'll pull him back. I think getting the alliance would be far more important than building a spy network down here. To say our first target is going to be Granada. Nice. Bring those guys together. And yes, well, right, we're going to get that certainly. Now we've got the alliance with France. That's going to help us considerably. I mean, France may get us into some wars, but we don't have to attend. And just going to wait for the royal marriage. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. Call to arms. A nation of France is faced with a request that you come to the French. Okay, we're just going to accept because we do, but we're not going to actually take part in it. I think the French are already winning. So accept it, but oh, it looks like Portugal's there, so. And does that mean we're actually at war with Portugal? Yeah, how great. Just see what this is. With Portugal. I mean, can we actually snag some? Trouble is, we can't get anything out of this war. Now let me just see. What can we do? Diplomatic. See. Shows opinions. Okay. Portugal's got a couple of armies marching through. I mean, trouble is, if we get into a war with Portugal, what's going to happen is we can't really claim land because France will do the peace settlement. We can't peace out separately. So as long as Portugal passes through, we're going to be quite happy to stand here, I think. I mean, we could get a little bit involved and help. Maybe we could use the lower army, come over here, and just keep this upper army here, ready to defend. We lost our navy. A bit worried about where Portugal's navy is going to be. On the positive side is that will allow us to worry about, yeah, these guys have passed through, and we'll just help out a little bit over here. I think that'd be the best way through. The ports are blockaded, yes. Well, our Marshall reports still occupies Beja. And it would be nice to come here. Now there is a way you can express an interest in something, but I don't think that's actually available in when you've got no DLC. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. It's, again, this is an area of diplomacy that I'm not too sure about. Oh, because the fort's not available. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get down here and see if we can take this area here. That would be great if we can do that. I mean, how long has it got? This will expire in 1948, so we've got 2 years. So I don't really want to drain my manpower, that's the problem. But I think because I do really want to bash up Granada, and we get a fabricator claim on. Certainly want that there. So we got a claim on Granada, and right, and Granada has an alliance with Tunis. That could be a bit of a pain in the neck. So I don't think I can support rebels, fabricate claims, break royal ties, send insults, force peace. We are at war. Our forts are up. We're making money. I mean, can I can raise war taxes. Don't really need to do it, but we may make a bit more cash. I mean, this is messing up my strategy a little bit. How is this going? Well, we're minus 14% at the moment, but I think this is good old Enrique down here. So he may die in the siege, which won't be a great loss. Disputed succession, we have uncontested. Poland, they tell us about the events, yes. That event is where Poland gets into a personal union, I think, with Lithuania, I think. Yeah, as the following junior partners of Lithuania. I have to play Poland one day just to see how things actually go. I mean, I want this war to be over relatively quickly. I'd love to get this area here and the Algarve. I'd love to get something out of this war, but not holding out a lot of hope. I mean, it'd been brilliant to get this province here, simply because that would give us a control of 2 sides of the straits, which means that we can ignore blockades. Into my navy. Up there. My light ships, you get down to here. Does that mean I've lost them? I think we can come up here. I mean, I'll just help the war along. Naval. Yeah, we've lost 3, so I think we can recruit. Our navy back to full strength again. We'll have to watch the cash. Really. Yeah, okay. Portugal nulls treaties with England. Portugal pays 30 to 50. France there. Portugal gains, yeah. So Portugal has come out and actually done it. And we can redo the alliance, thank goodness. And in some ways that makes us stronger now, because Portugal is no longer has an alliance with England. So that means we should not get dragged into any more wars. And of course Portugal's going to be a little bit beaten up, so far as the truth. Just going to bring this army down to here and get our armies in position. Yeah, you've got plenty of forces there. Yeah, so we kind of fought our first proxy war here. Your ports are blockaded, yes, well, England still doesn't like us, but that's not a problem. We're making a little bit of cash. And all's well with the world. I mean, we could risk dropping the fort there to make a bit more cash. Yes, I know, well, forts are mothballed during a period. And we're just coming up to the end of the truce. That would be February 1448. Okay guys, this is where I'm going to leave it, because this video has quite a long intro, so the video is going to be quite long. In the next part we will start our war against Granada and to unify what's left of Iberia. It could be an interesting war. Looks like Telemkin's already at war down here against somebody. I mean, obviously Tunis will probably come in support, so we may have to do something a little bit creative from that area. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.